to the Republican race for the White House. There is word that the field is about to get a bit more crowded. Sources say New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is on the verge of jumping into the race despite months of strong denials. CBS News political analyst John Dickerson joins us with the latest from Washington. John, good morning to you.
Good morning, Russ.
Chris Christie has said it a million times. He said, "What don't you understand about this? I am not running for president." What are you hearing?
Well, he has said that a lot, and for a long time, those close to him said he really meant it, and he had a whole stack of reasons for why he wasn't running. And now, though, the sheer volume of people who have asked him to get into the race has changed his mind, and so he's been giving it serious consideration. I think I've talked to people who have talked to him recently, and I've gotten two different answers. One who thinks he's really leaning to get into the race, and another who was not so sure. So the longest we'll have to wait is a week. We may hear, though, a lot earlier than that, early in the week or midweek next week.
Not only has Governor Christie said, John, I'm not getting into the race time and time again, he's also said, I'm not ready for that job yet. Could that come back to bite him if he does jump in?
Absolutely. He'll have to eat all of those words and spend his first few weeks explaining again and again as he goes from state to state why he suddenly thinks he's ready. And this is in part, this election will be about the fact that Barack Obama was not ready. That's the Republican claim. And certainly all of Christie's opponents who have more executive experience than he does, the other governors in the race, will point to Governor Christie's previous remarks and say, you know, we have more experience than you do, and so he'll be having to listen to his own words quite a lot.
John, why do you think Governor Christie has become the darling in many Republican circles?
Well, there are members of the sort of Republican elite, the establishment, who don't like the current field. They're not excited about Mitt Romney, who has had a good, strong campaign, but doesn't excite people. And there are a lot of people who think they have a great opportunity, that Barack Obama is quite vulnerable, that this is a Republican year, and they really want a candidate who has that authenticity. You hear that time and again with people talking about Governor Christie. And so they want somebody who can excite voters and who has some authenticity, and so that's why they're backing him. But the big question is how many people really are screaming for a Christie candidacy, or is it just people who raise money and who have access to columnists or the columnists themselves who are making this case? And we'll find that out if he jumps into the race.
John, looking at the big picture for a moment here, Florida is now moving up its primary to January, early January. What does that do to the race?
It messes everything up. Florida is now going to be on the 31st of January. That means that New Hampshire, Iowa, South Carolina, and Nevada will all move up their process. So now the whole thing starts earlier, and that means for Chris Christie or Sarah Palin, who might jump in the race, they have to get started even faster. It means they have such a short time period before those first contests. It also means those four early states will lose half of their delegates, which means that the process may elongate, because that means if you win in those early states, it doesn't mean as much as it used to. You have to keep competing. That puts a premium on money and organization, which should help Mitt Romney, who has both of those things.
It messes everything up, John. Nothing unclear about that. As always, thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Scott.